Scott, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us at Glee TV.
That's fine. Looking forward to it.
So in terms of garden retail trends, what are you willing to embrace for your own business at Ivyline?
Good question. I think garden retail is changing. It's obviously changed significantly this year. Trends that were very, very prevalent through COVID are not as prevalent now. So the actual trend, I think, for garden retail is more about what the customer is actually looking for, the consumer's looking for. So consumers, when you focus in on what their priorities are all about how your product is made. Is it sustainable? Is it ethically sourced? What are you doing about your carbon footprint? What are you doing as a business to care for your people? And what's your story? And I think that's what consumers are buying into. So when we look at trend, for our business, Ivyline, we are heavily focused on trend. We look forward probably up to 3 years, follow all the global macro, micro trends, look at what consumers are buying into, what their habits are.
There was quite a big increase in sales for the garden retail industry during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
When everything else was going down. Do you see this trend continuing, or do you think things will stabilize from now on?
I think they'll stabilize, and I think there'll be shrinkage in the market. And in specific categories as well. Some categories will be hurt more than others, but there is definitely shrinkage. From the feedback I've had recently, roughly around about 9% decrease in sales in garden centres, but everybody's carrying a lot more stock.
You were talking earlier about sustainability, and that's definitely a big trend. What are you bringing onto the business in terms of new products to respond to this sustainability demand?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when we're looking at new products, sustainability is always at the forefront of our mind. We've doubled our product made from waste this year. There's 2 new categories which we've launched. I think it's not just about product though. I think when you look at sustainability, people think recycled, which is great. But if you're buying a recycled product and you're dragging it halfway across the globe to get it here, that's not very sustainable. The product itself inherently may be, but is your supply chain sustainable? Are you focused on reducing packaging, plastic packaging in particular? Are you focused on reducing your carbon footprint, sourcing closer to home? I think those are things that people sometimes get lost in the whole world of sustainability. For us, we pulled out of most of our Far Eastern purchasing 3 years ago, and we've continued to do that. And we will continue to do it even more.
So it's more about looking at the business as a whole.
Yeah, and then the factories that we work with, our key partners, sustainability is exceptionally important, but so is care of the people and the environment. And for us as a business, that's one of the core principles we're established on. And that's something that we are very, very focused on. So what you've got to make sure in your supply chain is that the people are cared for at every level. It's great to go get a good price. Great to try and get the best price in the market so you can sell the cheapest. But are you burning your people? Are the people being cared for on the factory floor, right through into your own organisation and then onwards to the customers? Because to me, care of humanity is as important as care of the environment.
Staff retention is also a big problem, isn't it?
Staff retention is difficult. We don't have a massive issue with that. We care for our staff. We established on a principle of care for staff. All of our staff got a minimum of a cost of living inflation increase in wage this year. Many got more. We'd like to give them internal opportunity as well as their own ways of earning their own bonus structure as well. We also give, because of the situation with COVID and the impact on the health industry, every single member of our staff gets the opportunity to come into health insurance provided by the business as well.
That's wonderful. And in terms of business opportunities for the coming months?
I think there's opportunity. It's possibly not where you're looking right now. So if you're looking and you want to just keep your same meterage in a garden centre, and say, okay, I've got this meterage and it's going to turn and I'm going to get this return, your footfall's down, your spend's down. Suppliers have to be agile and nimble. They have to look at the customers that fit their brand profile as well. I think that's really, really important. If you want to be an aspirational leading brand, you've got to play in the right sector and you've got to play with the right people. And if there's I think at the moment, there's possibly a lot of suppliers like ourselves are overstocked. But don't damage your brand by pushing it through channels that are not where you want to be 3 years' time.
Thank you so much, Scott, for being with us this morning at Glee TV, and thank you for watching.